Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a review of several of Watchgecko's leather bands. I've had all of these for I think over a month now, so I'm going to review them and we're going to do them in categories. We're going to go with bands under $20, $30, $40, and $50, all in US dollars. Now do keep in mind that their prices fluctuate with the currency conversion of the British pound in relation to US dollars. For those of you that are newer to the channel and do not know, Watchgecko is an official partner of the cgwatchfam channel. For more information on all the details of that partnership, go ahead and click on the video that's showing up in the upper right hand corner now, or in the video description. And don't forget that you can always get 10% off all these bands on Watchgecko's site using the promo code cgwatchfam. All right, guys, so let's get into this review. That's coming up right after this. All right, so what you guys are looking at here are the offerings of the bands that I reviewed that come in under 20 US dollars. Even with the conversion rates, these should always hold pretty strong to being under $20. Plus, with the 10% discount that you get using the promo code, you're going to be pretty safe and locked in. These are pretty decent quality considering that they cost under $20. What I do want to say is there's some of these that I don't personally recommend and I don't think that are going to last for you very long term. And I'll give you an example. Now the one that I've got on this piece is one of their leather bands with a contrast stitching, but just look at kind of the cracking that's already happening here on this band. So, you know, yes, it's under $20. Now, will you get $20 worth of use out of them? That's for each of you to decide individually. But there's so many more offerings for just a little bit more money, and you'll see that when we get into the under 30, 40, and 50s, that really might just be worth spending a little bit more for a better quality band. So this will give you the look for a little while. Now, within this category of the bands you see on the table that I don't recommend, are ones that have this similar kind of covering. You can see here when you bend the band, you kind of have that extra right there. That's kind of where it starts to crack. So this brown one, I think would also end up falling in the same category as the black and red contrast stitching one that I have here. And I don't think that you're going to get a lot of good long-term use. Short-term, you know, a couple months maybe, maybe longer, up to a year, depending on how often you wear them. But I think in the long term, this would be something that you end up having to replace. By the way, this watch will be getting reviewed very soon. It is a beauty. Now, in that same category are these. You know, it's got really cool coloring on the back. You've got the Rallye straps as well. But it looks like it's going to do the same thing as the other one over time. You see, that's going to start to crack not too long after you get it, especially depending on how often you end up wearing it. This one, different contrast stitching, same kind of manufacturing style though. So same thing there. See that? I think that's going to start to chip away and crack and kind of flake over time as well. So a good look for short term. Ones that I will recommend, right? So you have the Nylon Sport. You guys will have seen this one. Those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook will have seen that I paired this one up with the Citizen that I just recently reviewed. And this strap was awesome, super comfortable, and it comes in a variety of colors. So if you're looking for a little bit of a different look aside from leather, rubber, or classic NATO, these Nylon Sport ones are fantastic. They have them in black with red contrast stitching. There's a few color options on there. For under 20 bucks, I actually think these will last definitely longer than the black and red contrast ones and these ones here that we've already looked over for the same price. So the other ones that I'd recommend in the same price category is the one that I've had on my Invicta mod. This perforated leather band with the kind of ivory contrast stitching looks awesome with this. So I'm not saying that it won't eventually have the same wear problems. You can kind of see here that it might along the side, but the fact that it's perforated higher up to your lugs, it does seem like it might last a little bit longer. They have it with a variety of contrast stitching. The primary difference between this Jonathan version band and this one is the end. So you see, you'll be able to find variations with a square tip or this pointed tip, depending on what it is that you're looking for. So I would still recommend these two. In this price range, I still think they're worth it, especially if you like the look. Links to all the bands that we're looking at are each going to be linked up in the video description, broken down by price range, so you know where to find the one that you might be interested in. I didn't have anything to pair this one up with, so I didn't wear it, but I will say you can kind of see you might have the same longevity issues in terms of this peeling or cracking if it's a piece that you're going to wear a lot. Lastly, they do also have a carbon fiber style band. So if that's something that you've been looking at, under $20, you can get that here. This one is only available in the black with the red contrast stitching. But when I bend it and play with it, it does look like it would hold up better over time than, for example, this band that I have currently on this piece. So again, the ones that I would recommend personally in this price range are the carbon fiber, the perforated leather, and the nylon sport pieces. I think those are going to get you the most bang for buck. In the under $30 department, I have these two leather Zulus. Now you'll see I kind of shredded the end here, and this is because I let my kids help me put them on watch bands, and they tried to pull this through a watch that had 18mm lugs versus the 20mm size that these are. But these come in just under $30, and again, you get the 10% off using the cgwatchfam discount code. But particularly the black one, which is the American Leather Zulu, is so soft. Look, there's tons of leather Zulu options out there. Everyone's kind of got the characteristics that they like and that are their favorite. I think these are priced pretty well for what it is that you're getting. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of my favorite offerings, which are in the under $40 price category. Some of my absolute favorite bands that I got in this particular lot are in this price category. So the first one that I want to start with is this awesome Kaizen R17 Vintage. This band is so incredibly comfortable, and you can see it is substantial. Right now, I've got this one paired on, as you can see, this Longines Hydra Conquest. Now, this is a watch that I am going to be reviewing. It was lent in to me by Scott. Thank you so very much. And I immediately put it on this band. The color on this is rich, and for the price point, it is really great quality. I love the stitching. It's available in several color options. This is one of my favorite one of their brands, so I definitely highly recommend this particular band. I think it's really hard to beat for the price. The other one that I'd have to say is tied for my absolute favorite of this lot, along with the gray one you see on the Bambino, is this kind of rugged leather alligator print band. This one is gorgeous. It has lived pretty much exclusively on my 55 Fathoms mod, and I also put it on George's mod when I modded his. And I mean, just look at this. All I can say is wow. I mean, I absolutely love this band. It's substantial, it's comfortable. I will say right off the bat that I assumed that these two, just being so incredibly thick, I mean, look how thick that is. Which means it looks great with heftier watches, by the way. So if you have a bigger watch, these are the kinds of bands that I'd be recommending for that. But just take a look at that. I thought it would take a while to get comfortable or to break in just because of the size. So when I saw it, I thought, oh man, I like it, but it's probably not going to be that comfortable. Not true. I put it on and it was comfortable right away. So if you're looking for something that, you know, has a different kind of look, this alligator print, the contrast stitching, this is what you want to be looking at. And it is offered in other color combinations with contrast stitching, so definitely worth checking out. The next one I've got here is the Laguna Leather Band. Now, I had this one paired up mostly with the chronograph that I showed you guys earlier, which I will be reviewing. That's this one here. And it looked awesome on there. This is just a step up in price segment, and the noticeable quality and longevity is huge. So I think it's well worth paying extra. The one that I have has a polished buckle. They also offer it in a brush buckle, if that's something that you would be looking for. And they do have other color options as well with different contrast stitching. So these are going to last much, much longer. And the next one on here was probably the biggest surprise, and that's the padded leather alligator grain. I was worried about the fact that it's padded. As you can see, it's padded up on either side of the band towards the lugs. And my one concern with this was going to be whether or not it'd be comfortable around the wrist and how it would wear and how long it would take to break in. But it actually didn't take very long at all. When I got it, I kind of bent it right away. and wore it that whole day, the first day. This is the first watch I put it on. It has not come off the Bambino since I put it on there, and I think it looks fantastic. So last up in this category is a red leather Zulu diver. Now you can see with this one, the Zulu diver is there on the buckle. It's a more substantial buckle, and the biggest difference you're going to see in this one that's in the under 40 category and the ones we looked at earlier in the under 30 category is really look at the difference in how substantial the stitching is in this particular one and how substantial the hardware is. So it's generally just a better quality band. I really don't think there's probably a huge difference in terms of longevity between the two, because this is actually a really well-made band as well. But the look is different, the hardware is different. You get kind of that contrast stitching that's going to give you something that's a little bit different. So if that's what you're looking for, this is a really good option. So let's take a look at the final category, which are bands under 50 US dollars. Right, so these two are the vintage racing and the handmade leather bands. These are the two most expensive ones that I had in to review, and they are some of my favorites. Now, I did get a brown leather racing. This was a request from Rob when I posted what you guys might want me to review on the Facebook page. Now, I actually also paired this one with the Seiko 55 Fathoms. I know that's a dive watch and this is a racing band, but it looked awesome. This one right here is the reddish brown, but they have got tons of other color offerings for this style. I really love the stitching at the top, and I think that's part of the staple of vintage bands and that vintage look. And this band was incredibly comfortable. You can really feel the quality the second you get it, and I can't possibly recommend these anymore. The other one is also a handmade Italian leather band. This one has that same vintage kind of feel. It has this V-stitch, which I absolutely love, and this one has found a home on the Marathon. I know this probably isn't a conventional piece that you would put this style of band on, but the second I put it on, I kind of got that like, oh yeah, feeling, you know, and I've been wearing it on this one most of the time, and I absolutely love it. These more expensive bands are thicker, they're much more substantial. You're going to get a lot of wear out of these, and it's not something that you're going to have to worry about having to replace anytime soon. So this is the handmade leather and their vintage racing bands. Now listen guys, links to every single band that I looked at will be in the video description below if you guys want to check those out. Don't forget to make good use of your discount code, cgwatchfam. Check out the Watchgecko website and all the bands they have to offer. So if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And as always, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. That's it for this one. CG out.